This is KGW News at noon.
And we're following a developing situation in North Portland. A police officer was shot in the leg while federal agents were serving a warrant this morning. Police then shot and killed the suspect. I want to show you a map of the area I'm talking about. The shooting happened this morning on Willis Boulevard, which is in the Kenton neighborhood. KGW's Devin Haskin has been out at the scene for hours and joins us live. Devin, what's the latest?
Right now, details are limited, but Portland police say that it is the DEA that was serving the search warrant. Although the nature of that warrant, though, is not known at this time. Tactical officers and crisis negotiation teams with Portland police were helping with the call when police say the suspect fired shots through a wall. A Portland police officer was hit in the leg, and that officer was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police returned fire, hitting and killing the suspect. Right now, all we know is that the person killed is a man. No other information about him is available. This all happened around 7:30 this morning when people were sleeping. Adrian Ridgway is visiting from Texas and was staying in an apartment across from the suspects.
What woke us up was them yelling out his name, and it started off pretty subtle, and then it just gradually escalated as far as more and more people coming in and out through our little alley between our two buildings. And then we just heard a couple gunshots, and then one turned into a couple, and then now just full-blown chaos everywhere.
Now we're told the officer, again, non-life-threatening injuries, was awake and talking last report we had. We are waiting for a press conference, a little more information from Police Chief Chuck Devell, just checking to see if he was, walking up beside me or behind me. This is the third fatal shooting involving an officer in Portland this year. Back to you.
All right, we'll continue to follow it. Look for your updates. Thank you, Devin. New at noon, a jury found a Clark County man guilty of murdering a transgender teen. 27-year-old David Bogdanoff met Nikki Kuhnhausen on a dating app. The two were having sexual contact in the backseat of Bogdanoff's car when he found out she was transgender. Bogdanoff testified that he pushed Kuhnhausen away and that she reached for his gun, which was near the driver's seat. He argued that he strangled Kuhnhausen with a cell phone charger in self-defense. Bogdanoff dumped the body on Larch Mountain. The jury found him guilty of second-degree murder and malicious harassment, which is a hate crime in Washington. Sentencing is set for September 9th. Now to the latest in Afghanistan. The death toll continuing to rise after two suicide bombings yesterday outside the airport in Kabul. President Biden vowed the U.S. will complete its evacuation mission despite losing 13 service members and more than 100 Afghans. President Biden called the U.S. effort a worthy mission, adding he's being briefed on security for U.S. forces. The president has been warned another terror attack in Kabul is likely, but he's pressing on with the operation.
The mission there being performed is dangerous, and it's come with a significant loss of American personnel. But it's a worthy mission because they continue to evacuate folks out of that region, out of the airport. Evacuated more than 12,000 additional people out of the airport in the last 24 hours.
The U.S. is racing to evacuate Americans and Afghan allies before the U.S. military leaves on August 31st. More than 100,000 people have been airlifted to safety since August 14th. Well, the latest numbers on COVID cases in Oregon show the Delta variant is just running rampant. The Oregon Health Authority reports 2,057 new and presumptive COVID cases and 9 new deaths. OHA crunched the numbers and found the unvaccinated were responsible for 88% of the positive COVID tests between August 15th and the 21st. The number of people in the hospital continues to rise as well. There are now 1,085 patients receiving care for COVID. Almost 300 of them are in the ICU. New data also suggests we're seeing more children. We're talking kids 5 years old and younger in the hospital now with COVID. Some new projections are painting a grim picture of the virus in Oregon. Based on current trends, OHSU predicts by Labor Day weekend, the state will be short up to 500 hospital beds. Some of the hardest hit counties are in southern Oregon, namely Jackson and Josephine. Their COVID rates are some of the worst in the entire nation. Our sister station in Medford talked to OHSU's lead data analyst about those projections.
It is burning like a wildfire in Region 5. If you are unvaccinated, there's a very good chance you're going to get infected soon. I did produce a separate forecast just for your region because I was seeing that the numbers were almost unbelievably high. And because of that, I did a forecast, and indeed it's followed that path almost straight up. I think you're up over 200 people in the hospital now, and so unfortunately that track is held.
That's Dr. Graven. He says hospitalizations in this part of Oregon are statistically 3 to 4 times worse than anywhere else in the state. Nurses continue their calls for people to get vaccinated.
The ages of people that I put in body bags in the last couple of weeks are 20, 37, 42, 45, 52. I've seen a lot of people die. It's a lot easier to trust me and trust us medical professionals and get a vaccine than it is to trust me when I'm about to push a plastic tube down your throat, put you on a breathing machine.
Wow, think about that for a second. OHSU is now working on a new COVID forecast. They say it should be available by the end of the week. Well, more people in Washington are getting their COVID shots. Health officials think statewide mask and vaccination mandates are part of the reason. The vaccination rate this week is 21% higher than last week and 34% higher than the week before. Well, if you have tickets for a show at Edgefield on the Lawn, listen up. You will have to show proof of vaccination to get in or a negative COVID test in the last 72 hours. Everybody must also be masked except when they're eating or drinking. This new rule goes into effect August 31st, which is this coming Tuesday. And the Oregon State Fair in Salem opened today, and it's asking all of its guests to be vaccinated. If you haven't gotten your shot yet, you can get one at the fair. Plus, you'll get a free ticket that you can use at the fair this year or next year. The Oregon State Fair is going on through Labor Day.